my name is Esther Davidson, and I work for the Danish Technological Institute in Denmark. And BIGINN is about innovation in the big science sector. So the partners are LITEC from Lithuania, which is a Lithuanian laser technology cluster, and then Indociencia or InnoStar in Spain, which is the Spanish science industry organization. So 3 partners, and we focus on the business opportunities in the big science sector. And big science, that is all about the big research facilities that are co-financed by several countries. So we're talking about the most known as CERN in Switzerland, which is a large donut particle accelerator, where many countries are financing together because it's just too big and too large for one country to do, and then all the countries can do research and experiments and many things and at these big research facilities. So there are many of them around the world, but there is a number of really big ones that we're working with, all the organizations in the partnership. And the big thing is that one thing is that there's a lot of research going on, but the other thing is that these research organizations are being built, being developed, being enlarged, being maintained. So they constantly need input and technologies and surface coverages and all sorts of really advanced technologies to do the daily running, but also to for the development. And these services or technologies are purchased via public procurement, of course. And then the whole task is, how do companies from the international environment, from countries, know about these service opportunities or business opportunities? How do they get to know about them, and how do they then access? So we are in the BIGINN consortium working to look at how can we make our services better, how can we learn from other clusters, how can we become a cluster perhaps even, and how can we help more companies know about and access these facilities and the opportunities, business opportunities at these research facilities. So the number of exchanges, we've set that to 85, and I think it's about 55 SME exchanges that we are planning to carry out. And we are basically busy working on it. It's still the beginning, so we've spent the first 6 months setting up the project and the communication and all this sort of basic tools. So now we start looking at a number of exchanges. We have a list of 6 to 8 ideas, and we already carried out our first exchange actually in Croatia in June for a laser event. We had 2 exchanges there, and now we're looking at a conference in Croatia in September, where we think we might be able to also add an exchange program around the conference. And we're looking at the largest big science event in Granada in October, where we will really use the COSMO program, the SCP program, to invite more people, invite more companies, invite new companies, and give them the opportunity to understand and to get insight into the big science market. We really expect to be able to step outside our own little world and understand how we could become more of a cluster in this sector, because it's a little bit a traditional sector. It's a sort of technology industry driven sector, and therefore the communications and the way we talk to our possible business partners are a little bit traditional. So we work a lot via emails and newsletters, and that, which is really good. But we have already understood now that we also need to have more dialogue and more co-branding, more partnerships, and perhaps more because it's a sector that's also covering a wide range of of services. So I talk a lot about research and technology and material services and semiconductors, but we also use, or the large research facilities also use a lot of data, a lot of AI, so the IT industry is also important here. So we expect to be able to have more precise service offer, where we have a sort of cluster thinking according to the sectors that we are working with. Yeah, I think it's always interesting to look above your own glasses and learn from others. So I think it's a little bit early stage. It's been really interesting to hear what the others do, and in terms of and also how many companies and how they work with it and everything. So it's just an interesting way of getting a step further by being forced to kind of, or being invited into an environment where all the clusters share their experiences.